welcome to you if this is your first action, your first time thinking about getting arrested. You're gonna be a family tomorrow. You're gonna be an action family. I like to think of direct action as being kind of inherently about conflict in some ways, and it's not necessarily bad. Conflict and tension is we're trying to make conflict that's usually below the surface really visible so that people can't ignore it anymore.
We're not just signing online petitions anymore, we're not just yelling on the internet. We're finally getting to civil disobedience. People have had it, and Americans are uniting to say, we're going to take action. We've got to fix the system. Democracy Spring is a part of that. We're in Philly right now at the Democratic National Convention, and it's a mess. And Sanders supporters are in rebellion, and the Democratic Party is trying to squelch that rebellion. They're trying to take their signs away, take away their voice, and make sure that they fall in line. And all it does is drive independence away that sees a machine that does not relate to them.
Been all over the place.
Yeah, moving and shaking. In June, I was asked to speak representing West Virginia, America, and Bernie about ways to reduce poverty in America. So I spoke in front of the Democratic National Committee in Washington, D.C. And that was the first time I ever flew on a plane. I never thought I would do that, but I did it. This has felt the weirdest because this building is so huge and I'm not accustomed to Uber and all that jazz. So I'm kind of just following, and whatever guides me, I'm going.
Election fraud! No more election fraud!
The way they rigged this election, the way they rigged Hillary Clinton, it's terrible for democracy.
Are you a delegate?
I am a delegate. I'm from Arizona.
Election fraud!
We started off with the establishment and the media considering us to be a fringe candidacy. 50 points behind in the polls, and nobody outside of Vermont knew who I was. But by the time the campaign ended, we had won 22 states. We ended up with 1,900 pledged delegates to the Democratic National Convention, about 46% of the total. We helped write the most progressive platform in the history of the Democratic Party. As a result of our efforts, Secretary Clinton changed her views on a number of very important issues, such as the Keystone Pipeline, the TPP, minimum wage, higher education. And I think it is fair to say that the progressive movement today is in far better shape than it was before we began the campaign. And I know that there is an enormous amount of disappointment that we did not do better. But I think our attitude has got to be not to look back, but to look forward. We accomplished an enormous amount, and people are just going to have to keep working hard. Social change, it doesn't happen overnight, not for the workers' movement, trade unionism, civil rights, not for the women's movement, not for the gay movement, not for the environmental community. The struggle continues, and we've got to roll up our sleeves and maintain the pressure.
One person! One vote! One vote! One person! One person! One vote! One shame on DNC! Shame on DNC!
You're not going through here, no sir.
Rockets, red flag, bombs bursting in air. They flew to the line, their flag was still. You won't be arrested in the morning.
We met up at Marconi Plaza, rallied with allies from the migrant justice movement, from the peace movement, from the labor movement, and we marched down here to the Wells Fargo Center where the Democratic National Convention is happening. And we sat in to block an area where the delegates can go in, and then said that we were going to go over any barriers to bring our message to the Democratic Party. They need to live up to their name and fight to make this the last corrupt, billionaire-dominated, voter suppression-marred election in our country. We're here in a big police bus. They're bringing dozens of us. This is just one for the men. Going to bring us down to process this, I suppose.
I hear the voice of my great-granddaughter saying corruption now. People gonna rise like the water, gonna calm this crisis down. I hear the voice of my great-granddaughter saying corruption.
Hell no, DNC, we won't vote for Hillary. Hell no, DNC, we won't vote for Hillary.
The DNC is in a world of trouble and they don't know it. And they're like, I don't get it, we love Hillary Clinton. And so they assume their perspective is the perspective of everybody out there. She's been so nice to us, she's great. Well, that's not what they think. If this election is about Hillary Clinton, we will lose, okay? And when I say we, yes, progressives, and yes, the whole country, because that clown, Donald Trump, will win. And God help us all if that happens. But right now, that's exactly what the DNC is doing. They're handing him the election with their arrogance.
Thank you very much, Michigan. You have cast 81 votes for Secretary Clinton and 66 votes for Senator Sanders.
The nominee's going to be Hillary Clinton as of just now, and that's the big news of this country around the world.
Hillary Clinton will get credit for having built a machine. Bernie Sanders is building a movement. Those are very different things, both important, both necessary, and at the end of the day, 99 times out of 100, you'd rather have a machine than a movement. They're more reliable machines.
Hillary Clinton understands that she cannot alienate this Democratic base, which I think represents people across the political spectrum in this country. They are seeming to make some concessions, but if they are only symbolic, it won't be enough for many.